Hi everyone. So my night hasn't gone well. I went to Newton Wellesley and I was seen there. I was discharged around 3 in the morning. The trains don't start running till a little bit after 5 a.m. So I asked the security officer if I could stay there until the trains start to run. And he said that no, that he had to, the hospital had to order me a ride to go somewhere. So I said, okay. And I was thinking on my feet, because at that point it was probably like 3:30 in the morning. And I was like, I gave him the address to Starbucks in Chelsea because they open at 4:30. And I figured by the time the Uber came and I got there, it would be close to 4:30 and I wouldn't be waiting too long to get inside. So the Uber comes. And then I have my wagon with my stuff. And, I say, hey, can I put my stuff in the trunk? And he's like, I don't think it's going to fit. And then I was like, well, let me see if I can fold my wagon a little bit and make space. And then the Uber driver, he just drove off with his trunk open and everything. He just drove off. So I went back inside the hospital, explained to the security officer what happened, and said, could you order me another Uber? And the security officer said no. He said that I had to leave, and he said if I don't leave, that he was going to call the police on me for trespassing. And I said, I tried to talk to the security officer. I remained calm, and I was just like, the trains don't start running until after 5. That Starbucks opens at 4:30. I can go in there, and if I get another Uber, I can go there. But he said no. There's no way the hospital is going to give you another Uber, and you got to leave. You can't stay here. Like, not even for an hour and a half in the waiting room, which was fairly empty, So he did end up calling the police on me, and the police told me that I had to leave, that they don't, they have nothing to do with hospital policy, and that I had to leave, So I just told the police officer, I was like, fine, I'm leaving, because I don't want them to say that I'm trespassing over something so stupid as me just asking for another Uber ride and me asking to not be outside and freezing to death, And the cops were like, oh, you're not going to freeze to death. And the security officer, you're not going to freeze to death. And it's like, okay, well, I'm outside right now. It is very cold. Can I manage another hour? Probably, weather-wise. Newton is a nice area, so hopefully I shouldn't have any problems with, somebody bothering me on the street, until the train comes. And that's all I can really say, this shouldn't have happened. This is the first time something like this happens to me, because, hospitals are responsible for their patients when they discharge to make sure that, they're going somewhere safe. I understand they don't have complete control over the patient's decisions, but if you discharge somebody and they have nowhere to go, what happens if something happens to that patient? So what happens if something happens to me tonight because Newton Wellesley didn't order me another Uber, or because they didn't let me wait in their waiting room for an hour and a half? It's messed up. It's messed up what they did. And let me tell you, there was another patient there, an elderly guy, a white guy. His ride came. His ride took him wherever he needed to go, and mine didn't. And that shows you, how messed up the system is. That, they'd rather call the police on me than give me another Uber that would actually take me where I need to go. They'd rather call the police on me than let me sit there for an hour quietly until the trains start running. You know, it's pretty messed up. Like I said, I mean, right now I'm not that cold. I mean, I don't know how I'll feel in an hour from now, but I do have my phone with me, you know, in case there is an emergency and everything. And, you know, I can probably try to develop a better plan if something like this happens again, which it shouldn't happen again. I shouldn't be thrown out of a hospital at the middle of the night, you know? At the very least, they should let me wait in the waiting room, or if they give me an Uber, the Uber should take me where I need to go, not just drive off. That's not okay. It's a broken system, and I don't want to die out there. I really don't. I've been fighting for a year. An entire year trying to fight to stay alive. So, we'll see what happens. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.